Hello guys, this is a whole new segment in Studio Time. We're going to talk about how to improve your studio anywhere between 200 and $1,000. So little things that you can do to improve your studio majorly. So the first item that I would like to talk to you about is we're in this super small room. This was a very, very small room. As you can see, it's almost like barely anything in there. And I turned this into a room by really thinking about like how to, organize this like properly. And this room sounded actually completely terrible because it was so small with the walls and everything. So we found this company online and they call it like the London Sound and Installation Kit. And I want to point out these little things. You can mount them like super easy yourself. It's very cheap. So I bought one set that was $399 and I was able to cover 3 different rooms, smaller rooms with all this installation material. I put a big plate here on the door. There's like 2 more over here and 2 more over there. And it really turns the space into like a really nice sounding space. So it was terrible sounding before, but with just, because I divided it over 3 rooms, I would say like $125 for these panels, and they're super easy to mount. I can show it to you. You take them off, you just mount these hooks up to the wall, and then you take the board, you press it against it, and you press it in it, and we're done. It's super easy, like anybody can do this. So this was a really powerful tool for me to make this room sounding much, much, much better than it did before. Okay, so the next thing that you can do to make your studio better, but this depends on one small little detail. Do you have a girlfriend that has a lot of clothes? Do you have a boyfriend that has a lot of shoes, maybe? Trainers? I don't know, something. But if you don't, and there's a small room left in the house, you potentially can turn it into a machine room. So let me show you what I did here. We're in this house. You see this very small room, and they used to use this not only for the electrical, but they also would hang clothes in here. So there would be like a little shelf with like a little thing underneath, and put their jackets here. As you can see, it's a very small room. But what we did, since I don't have a lot of jackets, and the people that I work with do not have a lot of jackets, and I don't have a lot of shoes because I always wear the same shoes, and they're almost like about to die, as you can see. It's like they're completely falling apart. And I will order new shoes. I'll promise at a certain point. But what I'm trying to say is that I have this space left that I can do something with. And if we look up top, maybe the camera can go there. We just built little conduits there that go to different rooms. So now what I'm trying to say is that you have this space potentially available in your room, and you can build a conduit. If you're handy, you can do it yourself. I'm not handy enough when it comes to construction, so I had it done, but it was only $150, $200 to go from one room to another room that is like nearby. And I was able to put my computers in here instead of there. That would warm up the room, and it's noisy and everything. So as you can see, these racks right here, this is a server computer rack that I put all the computers in. Now, if you buy this new, this is like probably $800-900, but we bought them actually on eBay, previously used by some data center or something, and we just bought it for $100, $150. So $150 to buy the rack, $150 to $200 to build the conduit, and your computers are no longer part of your own room. They're now in a separate room. Yes, you need to extend some cables, as you can see here, some audio cables, some Ethernet cables, but that's all very doable, and especially if you're a little handy yourself, you can easily figure that out. And you could move your computers somewhere else and very, relatively cheaply, just have it not in your room, and very convenient when it comes to noise that you have and the heat that comes off these computers. Another good tip. So another really good tip, and this is where eBay or Craigslist or whatever site you want to go to is really going to help you, because the way that I run my systems is like I have a Cubase system that runs my Cubase, and then I run these 3 server units that run my VSL samples. Now, the first couple of computers that I bought to be my server were ridiculously expensive, and because I didn't know quite how to look into this thing, and some of these computers were actually anywhere between $15,000 and $25,000 each. And then at a certain point in time, I was like, we must be able to find these on eBay that were previously used, or a data center that goes down, or a bank that is broke and sells all these server units. And voila, we did. Recently, we bought probably 10 of them, and prior to that, we bought another big lot, like super cheap. So this server unit, let me read the specs of this server unit. This is a Dell PowerEdge R6110 2 6-core Intel Xeon X5650 CPU at 2.66 gigahertz, 96 gigs of RAM, and there are 4 1 terabyte SSD drives in there that work as a RAID to run all the samples of it. Now, if you buy these machines new, you would easily spend $50,000, $60,000, $1,000. But we bought 10 of them for less than $5,000. So you're talking about a few $100 per computer. So if you click the link down here, I can show you an example on eBay how to find really cheap server units that you can then turn into a VSL computer that is so powerful. And don't forget though, on one of these machines I'm running easily 1,000 to 1,400 contact instruments at the same time with no problem. So eBay, Craigslist, whatever site you're going to use is going to be a really big friend to find a previously used server unit that was used by a bank, a data center, or something like that. They went broke, they went down, or they quit business, whatever. And this company that I talked to had 800 of them. So whoever out there wants to buy 800 Dell servers as VSL units is going to have the biggest setup on the whole planet. I only bought 10, but maybe you want to buy the other 790. Anyway, I think this is a really good tip to expand your computer setup for just a few $100 instead of the thousands of dollars. So I just gave you 3 examples how to improve your studio between $200 and $1,000. So I'm now really curious what you want to improve about your studio and how I can help you to do that. Whether it's like my speakers do not sound as good as I would like them to do. I don't get enough processing out of my computer. What controller should I use that is affordable? Anything like sample libraries, whatever you want to know, something that can be fixed relatively cheap instead of spending all the money in the world. Please leave your comments below, and the next time I will answer those questions. Thank you.